Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to make a video on how to disassemble and reassemble this GSG 1911. First of all, I went out and shot it a few days ago, and I tell you, it was a sweet shooting experience. The only thing that I would say that I had a problem with was I didn't have enough oil on it, and the slide kept coming back, after each shot. So put some oil on there, cleaned it up a little bit, because we all know 22s get a little bit dirty. And it fixed it up, no problem. So, excuse me. There isn't a whole lot of videos on this gun in particular, and there's only one disassembly video on here, and it's good, but he goes a little too fast, and he doesn't say anything at all. So what I wanted to do in this video was make sure that we went step by step on how to take this down, because this is a little bit different than a regular 1911. It's not too much different, but just a little bit. So that, this video may take a little while. I want to make sure that everything is done in detail, and that you can use this to disassemble your own GSG 1911. So let's get started here. First thing we want to do, of course, is make sure this is safe. Magazine or chamber safe or clear. Take the magazine out. That's got nothing in it. Put that aside. Alright, we're good. Now, first thing you gotta do is, when you get this gun, you're gonna have a little baggie that's got all sorts of tools in it. It's got a wrench, and it's got 3 of these Allen wrenches. You want to get your largest Allen wrench from the bag, and this is what we're going to use. The other 2 Allen wrenches, they're only used to adjust the sights or take off the sights. So far I haven't used those yet. And then of course you got your different size sights in here. They're gonna, I think there's a tall, medium, and a small, depending on your needs. Anyways, I think I covered that in the review. If not, you just got it. So, anyways, we're safe, we're clear. I'm gonna take, if this camera will focus, this pin right here, we're going to take that out with the largest Allen wrench. Come on. There we go. And just put that aside. I'm just using a little lid here from a candle. It just works well because it keeps everything where it's supposed to be. I always suggest doing that if you got small parts. Always have something to put them in, because you will lose them if you don't. I mean, you probably already know that, but it's one of those simple things. Now, from that point on, it's pretty much just like a regular 1911. You're going to pull back on the slide to that first little cutout, push up, pull this out. I can get my fingers on it. There you go. So that comes out. And then the only other piece that's a little different, at least to my knowledge, is this little pin right here. Turn it over, push it out. It comes out real easily. And then so set that aside. And then basically, I think on a regular 45 caliber 1911, you would take this off. The takedown plug, I guess it was called. Then you take the bushing off, and then take the recoil spring out, and then the barrel out. But with this one, we're basically to push the barrel right off, or I'm sorry, the slide with all the barrel and everything like that. So, and then then you basically can push down, rotate your barrel bushing to the left, let this come out slow, this piece right here, put that to the side. You got your recoil spring here, and then your guide rod comes out just like so. Keep that all right there, and just like a regular 1911, you're going to rotate that to the right, pull it out. Now if you have an older one, it will be plastic. If you have a newer model, it will be metal. If you got the plastic one, I urge that you get the metal one because I heard they break. So, put that aside and slide your barrel out the front of the slide, and there you go. It's all disassembled. If you just kind of look at some of this. Very light slide, but this gun is supposed to be as close to the 45 counterpart as possible. Now this is what I had a problem with. Didn't have enough oil on there, and it looks like, again, the oil is, I don't know, it's either being soaked up by something or what, I'm not sure. Seems like it's got enough on there. I'd suggest before taking this out, just double check your oil on the frame and the slide and make sure it's got enough on there. Of course, everyone will tell you don't put too much on there because it'll just attract more dirt. Yeah, but you gotta clean it the second you get it home anyway. So I mean, for me, cleaning a gun is almost as fun as shooting it. So anyways, I'm going to put this bad boy back together. Of course, sometimes when I put this back together, I tend to want to do this because, a lot of semi-automatics, that's the way you do it. So you just got to remember, you got to do it the odd way, in my opinion. But for a 1911, that's of course the way you do it. So you got that back in. Then we're going to put our barrel bushing back. I'm going to slide it all the way to the left for the recoil spring. Put this back in here. Now, the one mistake I did the first and second time, or it wasn't the first time, but it was like the second or third time I took this apart. Instead of having it here, right next to this piece, I had it down here. And it did, everything went back the way it was supposed to, and the gun seemed to function, but it wouldn't lock open on the empty magazine. So, put it right there. Now here's another important thing that you want to make sure if you're brand new to doing this, if you're using my video to get acquainted with the takedown and reassembly of your pistol here. This spring has a wider end and then a narrow end. I think you can see that. This end is a little bit more smaller than this end. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a tornado almost. The top is bigger. You get my drift. Anyways, you want to make sure that the larger end of the spring is pointing up towards your barrel, towards the end of your muzzle. Because if you don't, if you put it this way, you might get 5 shots off, and then all of a sudden you'll hear a weird sound, your slide will lock back, you wonder what the hell is going on. My brother did that, and he had to order a new spring. So very, very important to make sure that you excuse me, put that spring back in the right way. And once again, put that piece where that goes right there. So I told you this video would be a little bit long due to the fact that I just want to make sure it's very detailed. So once again, what we're going to do now, we're going to, let me see here, make sure we do this correctly. Yeah, we're going to put this in first. Oops. Come on now. Sorry, I got to do this off camera for a second. The recoil spring didn't want to go in all the way. There we go. Push it down. Click it back in. There we go. Oh, and by the way, I use this blue mat. I'm going to use this blue mat now because I notice it shows up on camera a lot better. Pete from the Armory channel, he uses this. I've seen it on Fred Hart's channel, and I'm not trying to steal it or copy it, but it's just a good idea, and I know that they don't mind if people take this idea and use this blue mat. It's awesome. It works great for stuff like this. So thank you, Armory channel, for the suggestion. I've seen it, like I said, I've seen it from Fred Hart's videos. Both awesome channels, by the way. Check them out. You won't regret it. Anyways, slider back on. See, these are a little tricky. See, I got everything. I'm not going to cut video if I don't get this right. Just bear with me here. What am I doing wrong? Everything seems to be alright. Anyways, like I said, this is tricky. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. What I noticed is that there's a little piece right here next to the hammer. I don't know what it is, but that was sticking up. Oops, sorry, off camera again. This little piece was sticking up, so for some reason that, just make sure you push it down and then it will go right back where it is. So I tell you, I thought I had this all figured out for a video, and there's another issue with it going together, but that's fine. It's not really an issue in my opinion. It's just learning curve. So what we're going to do then, of course, is take this pin and put it back. It's going to go on the side of your gun that the barrel hood is facing outward to your frontward. Don't put it in the other way because it won't go in there, or it will, but it won't want to stay in there. So pop that in. Take this pin here, put that back in. Like so. And then final step is this pin. The only piece that requires a tool, which is still nice. I don't mind if the gun takes a little while to take down, or if it's a little bit complicated. That just, to me, like I said, it just makes it more fun to do, because I get to figure out how to do it as quick as I can, but like I said, when you're cleaning a gun, it's just a relaxing experience, in my opinion, that you do, to make sure your guns function the next time you take them out. So in my opinion, Glocks, they're nice, to take down. They're real quick. And I guess the only advantage to that is if you're on the range and you had an issue, you could take it down real quick to see what's going on, where this one you'd have to take some time. But I guess that's debatable. I mean, it's one of the things where you're going to like it or you're not. In my opinion, when you're at home, you're cleaning the gun, taking it down, and putting it back together, I'm not real picky on how long it takes, but that's it. Anyways, before I go on and on, I'm already about 17 minutes here. Make sure your gun works. Make sure everything seems to be back in order here. Put a magazine in, of course. Make sure it locks back, which it does. Make sure the trigger works. Not going to dry fire it completely because it's a rim fire. So that's it. That's how you disassemble and reassemble this GSG 1911. Sorry the video is so long, but if you're like me, it'll be worth it. Alright guys, take care.